Good evening. Welcome to Creekbox TV. We're live here on Sports Talk TV, and I got my good buddy, the head football coach, Coach Tyson. Coach, man, we appreciate you taking the time to come visit. It's been a while.
Yep.
It seems like we just started playing 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the season has just, boom, it's flown by, man.
It has. I was just talking with the coaches in our meeting a while ago. We were talking about Hebron, and it feels like that was just a week or two ago.
I know
when we played Hebron. That was the first game of the season, and it's flown by.
It has, and man, we're coming off. Me and you were talking about. Me and Tom talked a 48-0 win against Charlton, our swamp war, our crosstown rival from the other side of the swamp. And I couldn't remember, and then you talked. So the record was 41, was the largest margin of victory.
Yeah, that was in '88.
88. So, you know, and we got a good team. Charlton's rebuilding. We went through that several years ago. You know, that's one thing about Class A. It kind of cycles through.
Sure.
You know, you're going to have we've been fortunate. It's been about every 8 years we kind of cycle through. But not to take nothing away from the Panthers, we just showed up and was ready to play, it looked like. First 3 possessions, 21-0. Then I think the kids kind of relaxed because I noticed you on the side. And I told her, you can go back and watch it. I said, well, at halftime, Coach Tison's going to get them fired back up a little bit.
Yep.
And is that what happened?
It is. They just relaxed a little bit, got up 21-0, and man, we had a great week of practice and spent half of the time, you know, talking with them about the history of the rivalry.
That's right.
Because, you know, these guys know just the recent history. And the last, 2 years, you know, we've kind of controlled it, and we've won. And they look at it, you know, they know that we're rivals, and, you know, it's the Swamp War, and they, you know, they hear about it, and, you know, we make T-shirts and all that, and they know about that part of it. But spent a lot of time all week talking about, you know, way back, you know, long
some heartaches when you played and coached.
Some memories.
Yeah.
Some memories that I still have, you know, from the time I was a ball boy.
That's right.
You know, just when I was a little kid.
That's right.
And you know, and obviously as a player, well, I went over there. That was probably the most pain I'd ever been in
now, they
as
had
a
some
player.
ball players back in the day.
Boy, did they have some players, and man, that was the only game my daddy was ever worried about me.
Yeah.
He drove me to the hospital. I had to get sewed up, X-rayed, and all that.
I'm surprised your mama didn't make him pull you out of the game.
He wouldn't have done that, but I tell you, you know, just telling them about, you know, that story and a bunch of different memories that we had, and how it hadn't always been us winning. Right. And
man, it's whoever had the ball last.
Right. It's been such a great rivalry, and needed them to understand that no matter what their record is or where they're at, you know, as a team, that we're gonna take that game as serious as any other game. And
man, we'll talk a little bit. Of course, the big win the week before, we went to Lanier County, and that is another rival. You know, along with Atkinson County, we have several rivals, and it's because of the success that Clinch County has had. Yeah. And was you surprised the way that Lanier showed up and fought that Friday?
No, I wasn't surprised a bit.
That quarterback's impressive they got.
And I know, you know, some of our players might have been surprised because they didn't listen, and probably most of our fans were surprised and thought, you know, that we just were playing bad or whatnot, and we could have played better. You know,
but now I look at it this way, Coach Tyson. I kind of like that. It grabs your football team's attention that says, hey, see, if you don't do your job, we can get beat any Friday night, no matter who it is. And that's, you know, to me, that would be a good point. And I'm sure you use that against the team.
But you look at Lanier, and they're doing a fantastic job over there. They're stronger, and they've got some good players. Like their receivers are good. That quarterback is really, really good. And
I thought he ran the ball great.
The thing about him is his decision making. You know, we would come out in different defenses. We would give cushion. We would come up in their face. We'd go zone. We'd go man. We'd blitz. We wouldn't blitz. And he could read it, and he would attack, you know, the soft spot and whatever we threw at him. I mean, and you don't see many high school quarterbacks that could do that. And he was able to, you know, mentally dissect that and then make the plays. that he had to make, and he was tough. Offensive line they got over there is good, and the scheme that they're running is really sound. So it didn't surprise me a bit.
That's right.
Because we had watched them on film, and they were playing some very good football. Their record should be better than what it is.
They've led, I think this past Friday, they've led, I think, 90% of the games just, and they've depth, I guess. Coach
They should have
Tyson,
beat Turner.
That's right.
They should have beat Turner for sure, and I feel like they're going to beat Charlton.
Well, man, it was kind of, they come out after they did the onside kick, which, it's kind of, I guess our boys said, this is enough, and then we just started pouring it on right there, which, man, our depth at running back has to be the best in the state of Georgia. I mean, we have 4 running backs that could start for any.
Yeah, they run hard,
team.
And I think a lot of it's got to do with just the competition, having more than 1 or 2 guys that can run it, because we try to spread it around and not just isolate, 1 or 2 guys.
And they're not the same kind of runners,
That's
I
right.
like. You got one that can in and out and can fly. Then you got Moorhead, to me, is getting more physical, and Walker, I mean, he can run around you, over you, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, good running backs, and I really think the fuel that drives that is the competition that they have. They know that, we're going to spread that ball around and give as many people totes as we can, and to keep people fresh and to keep defenses off balance or whatnot. And so they know when they get the ball that they got to make the most of it, and I like that because then, and if you're not blocking for each other, you get replaced. We got enough people that we can take people out.
And that's something when the blocking, the backs are doing, the line's doing a great job, but man, you know how it is with back, you coach running backs. I mean, it's hard to get them to, and I guess when you have the strength at running back like you do, they know they've got to block to get the ball.
Yeah, they'll come out. If they're not blocking, they'll come out.
That's right, that's right. Well, we're going to come into our first break, and we'll come back and talk some more Region 2A Panther football. We'll be right back.
For the best pizza and wings in town any day of the week, check out Healys One Stop in Homerville. Drop by, fuel up, and let Mr. Nick Patel and staff serve you some mouth-watering pizza and wings that you won't soon forget. Or just take that favorite pizza and box of wings home. Call 912-487-2338 to order your pizza and wings every Friday night after the game. Healys One Stop, 193 Church Street, Homerville.
There's a reason why we're South Georgia's automotive superstore.
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevy,
Nissan on the east side,
Walker Jones Used Car Mega Center.
GMC.
Coming soon, the all-new Walker Jones Honda.
Toyota.
We've got it all, so why shop anywhere else?
Decades of hunting and traveling has led us to this point, putting a new twist on traditional hunting. Starting this fall, from the deep south swamps to the Alaskan mountain range, follow us as we chase our next adventure. On YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
You know, one of the devil's favorite tools is to tell us we have plenty of time. Like, one day I'll get straight with God whenever I'm a little older, or I got some cleaning up to do before I even think about going to church. But the Bible tells us in James chapter 4 that we're not promised tomorrow. And in 2 Corinthians, today is the day of salvation. Don't wait. Come to Jesus today, just as you are.
Jerry J's Hog and Bones in Homerville is the restaurant for any time of day, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, or that special holiday meal. From pancakes to pulled pork and chicken salad to ribeye steak, Jerry J's Hog and Bones has the best food and service around. Oh yeah, and don't forget our great catering service. Go Panthers!
You're watching Creekbox TV.
Good evening. Welcome back to Creekbox TV. I'm Alan Hanley. I'm live here on Sports Talk TV. I got the head football coach, Coach Tyson here, and we're trying to catch up on the football season. We've been off the last several weeks, and where we're going back, we've talked about the Charlton, the Lanier, and, of course, after that. But before we get to the Turner, Coach Tyson, watch the Irwin game. We hadn't been on since the Irwin game. It looked like a sloppy game to me. I mean, not just on their side too. It was a defensive struggle. Man, we had a couple of touchdowns that could have been. They had one that could have. I mean, what did you think after the game? I mean, how'd you rate your team after the game over there?
Man, our effort level was great. We defensively, our effort was really good. We played good on defense. But offensively, the effort was there as well. But, man, we just, execution-wise, it just was not good at all. We didn't, and we had some guys that were playing in positions that was their first game. Tyler Posley, that was his first game playing blocking back. And, man, he went the wrong way several times. And just little things like that just drive you crazy. But from that game, we've learned a lot and gotten a lot better, from watching that film and getting people in the right position, blocking out on the edge a little better. We had some changes out on the perimeter. But, man, Irwin's defense is, they'll do that to you.
Yeah, they're a great team.
And we just, offensive line, being that we had a new group coming, that we graduated so many from last year. New group coming in, they had played well up to that point, but we really hadn't played a team like that. Yeah, with that type of defense.
That hit you back.
That was, they could attack you. They'll attack your offense. And if you're not executing, and you're not executing with confidence, and the backs aren't confident, then it slows it down. And so defensively, man, their defense is as good as you'll see in Class A any year. So going in there, executing at 55, 60% up front and in the backfield, it just ain't gonna get it done.
I mean, look, the good thing about it, for the last 3-4 years, y'all have come back and learned from that game and coached them up because, we've met them in the finals and adjusted to what we did wrong. So that's something you got to feel good about. That game's behind us. So. Yeah. I know you're worried about Telfair this upcoming Friday, but you got to look back and say, well, man, after that game, I was worried. I said, man, we could be hung over coming in because Wilcox got a great team.
Yeah.
And, man, we did. First half, it's kind of like we were hung over a little bit sluggish. But now, with about 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, that's when this team, to me, come together and started to gel a little bit. We were down by 11.
Yeah.
And I thought we were out of it. Yes. I said, man, 11 against Wilcox,
It was getting close.
It was a homecoming,
Yeah. It's a guy who scheduled this.
Yeah, coming off Irwin and off of a defeat, you got homecoming and Wilcox. That program's on the rise. They're going to make the playoffs. So,
yeah.
What happened in that game, Coach?
Well, I tell you, man, Wilcox comes in and they're ready. Because they're a team that nobody really. We had them on the radar, but like the state of Georgia,
that's right.
In general, when they talked about Region 2. They're going to talk about Irwin and Clinch.
That's right.
Because that's who it's been.
No respect.
So they were out to gain some respect in that game. And, man, it was coming off of the Irwin game. That was a physical, hard-hitting game. And it being homecoming week.
Oh, man.
Good gracious.
And we were big and banged up a little bit coming into that game.
It was just like a perfect storm to lose again. But, man, the guys just right there in the second half, they turned it up a notch. And we had some guys step up and show some leadership.
Man, we did.
And a lot of the guys up front and defense, just stepped up and, man, just kind of grew up a little bit that night and just kind of, made the choice.
See, and to me, we talked about the Lanier game having a little bit of adversity. We had a lot of adversity against Wilcox. And to come from behind, man, that's another great coaching opportunity for you to say, look, we're never, no matter what it is, let's just take care of what we got to do, and it'll all work out.
Yeah, we had the ball bounce. You know, we fumbled right there in that game, and the ball got kicked out, and their fastest guy picked it up and scored. And
that's right.
It's just, you know, bad luck, because the same thing happened in Erwin, twice.
That's right. I never did understand. Let me ask you this, because I was watching this time, and maybe you can answer this. Erwin fumbled the ball, and we pick it up and we score. But they give us possession of the ball, but not the touchdown. I mean, what was the difference? Did they?
They said.
See, to me, if you blow it dead, then the fumble doesn't exist. So I mean.
Yeah, they said that there was an inadvertent whistle on the.
Well, then we shouldn't have received the fumble.
I mean, it was after the fumble.
After the fumble. Okay, I always wondered. I said,
got to be politically correct.
Yeah, that's right. Inadvertent.
It was. You know.
That's right. You know, and that's late in the third quarter. No score. You know.
Yeah, it was 6-0. I think it was 6. I think they had missed the extra point, or they had tried to go for 2 and we stopped. I can't remember. But if we would have got that, we would have been up 7-6.
That changes the play caller.
It's a different ball game, and man, you just look at how, you know, how things happen, and the result of all of that, and then you look back in the past when things like that has happened, and it seems like the Lord just kind of works in mysterious ways, you know. So you don't sit there and look at it and pout and whine and, man, that's a bad call, you know, whether it was or not. You just look at it as an opportunity to get better and to be stronger.
And if you think about it, if you beat Erwin, you probably won't come back against Wilcox, so it'll balance out at the end of the day. And after the Wilcox, the Panthers have been playing on a different level. We had Turner rolling in. Turner got athletes, a team a lot like Wilcox. And, man, I think the best game of the year as far as offense and defense, the line blocked unreal. And it's just like Turner, when they got off the bus, they didn't know what was, I mean, nothing against them. They got a good team, but it just, that night wasn't their night.
No, yeah, they played hard. You know, they got a good team.
That's right.
And they played Wilcox pretty close last Friday. So athletically, and I mean, they've got it all. They've got all the tools. But, man, really, our defense has played pretty well every game. You know, in the Lakeland game, you know, that quarterback exposed us a little bit. But once we adjusted, we bottled him up. But really, I think the key to the whole thing is really the offensive line.
That's right.
Growing up and getting better and blocking a little tighter and not having so many, you know, run-throughs, gaps open. You know, we blocking most of the time we're in a gap scheme offense, keeping those gaps tight, you know, so people can't run through and make plays. They've gotten a lot better.
Oh, man.
So that's kind of just the fuel that runs it, you know. So a lot of credit goes to them on that.
Man. And look, we're headed in the right direction. And with that, we're going to go to our second break and hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back here with Coach Tison to talk some more football.
Lee Engineering and Construction Company in DuPont, Georgia has been a part of the community since 1935 and is proud to support Clinch County athletics. The prayer of the entire Lee Engineering family is that our Lord and Savior will richly bless our schools, community, and nation. Since 1972, Popeyes has been serving up mouth-watering, delicious, hot, and mild fried chicken and chicken tenders from its Louisiana kitchen. You know about our great chicken, but have you tried our tasty seafood? All of our menu items come with a Southern style all their own. On your way to or after the game, stop by Popeyes and remember we can handle all your special event catering needs. Conveniently located on Memorial Drive in Waycross, Popeyes puts a piece of Louisiana in every single meal. Camping World of Valdosta, located in Lake Park, is your one-stop destination for all your camping needs. Stop by to see your dreams of quality time with your family become a reality. Whether it's tailgating with your air-conditioned camper, taking a trip to the mountains or beach with your family, or driving your motorhome to a faraway destination, Camping World has it all. Let us put you and your family in a camper for as little as $99 per month. And remember, when you buy a camper from Camping World of Valdosta, you receive a free Elite Good Sam membership, roadside assistance, and travel assist for 1 year. Homerville Jewelers on East Dame Avenue is your headquarters for bridal and baby registry. If you're looking for that special gift for the bride and groom or that perfect gift for the new baby, Look no further. We also have a variety of diamonds, gold, sterling silver, watches, and necklaces, and can perform jewelry repair. No need to shop out of town. We can supply all of your gift and jewelry needs. Let Vicki Young and staff serve you at Homerville Jewelers, East Dame Avenue, Homerville. Mike's Golf Carts and Powersports in Douglas has the cheapest prices in South Georgia and a huge inventory of new and used gas and electric golf carts and off-road vehicles. Mike's also has parts and accessories and proudly serves customers across the states of Georgia, Florida, and Alabama. Whether you stop into our store or shop with us online, we have everything you need for Can-Am, E-Z-Go, Club Car, and Yamaha. 0% financing available for qualified customers. Mike's Golf Carts and Powersports in Douglas, Georgia.
Well, thank you for tuning in to Creek Box tonight to watch the Clinch County Panthers play. You know, a lot of times we get caught up in wins and losses, but at the end of the day, it's all just a game. The only thing that matters in life is, do you know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? The Bible says that whosoever calls upon the name of the Lord shall be saved.
Good evening and welcome back to Creek Box TV. I'm Alan Hanley. We're live here on Sports Talk. I got the head football coach, Coach Tyson, with me, and we're trying to catch up on this Region 2A football season. We've been out a couple of weeks. We were touching base there on Turner and how the Panthers come out, Coach, and just dominate it from whistle to the horn. And since then, we've just, we had that little hiccup in Lanier. Lanier had a little bit to do with it.
Yeah.
We showed up, and I'd mentioned this. I know, man, corner is the hardest position to play at Clinch County, especially when you got a running quarterback.
Yeah.
You set that corner out there and you say, all right, look, if they run the ball, you tackle him. If they throw the ball, you don't let him catch it.
Right.
I mean, and that's got to be, and I, I've been on the sideline a little bit with Coach Jim, and boy, he'll holler at the secondary coach.
Yeah,
That's got to be the. Now I hadn't seen you do that in. I didn't know if you would.
Well, things we've modified things a little bit. And that might be why, that's got a little something to do where it's more of a, when you've got a running quarterback like that, our linebackers aren't as fast. Like we don't have Tresman.
That's right.
Anymore. Tresman ran a 4.5.
That's right. And that's not counting the game speed.
Right.
There's a difference between running a 4.5 and game speed.
We have different things, set up to where, if we've got a mobile quarterback that we're having trouble tackling, we can adjust to and change personnel and do all that. We tried to sit in our base and play out of our base, and he was just good enough to kind of bend us a little bit.
I mean, he did a great job, like I said, not making mistakes and holding the ball, and then he threw a couple late at the last second.
The biggest thing was, they would make some plays, and we needed to tighten up on the edge a little bit. We were giving them too much space on the edge, and it was easy passes out there. We addressed that and fixed that. But we gave up plays down the field, like long balls down the field, where the back end of the defense didn't do a real good job covering, and that should not happen. So, we've had to address that and fix that, but that was the main issue there. So we've tried to update and do some different things and get a little more aggressive on defense where, play a little more man and let the linebackers run a little more. It's just like I go back to saying, whatever scheme we threw at that kid, he was able to.
That's right. I mean, and that's what coaching.
To go away from the strength of
that's
it,
right. Sometimes you run good players do that.
Right. That's right.
Now, your opinion, Coach. This is your first year. How's it went up to this stage? Is it what you expected to be, or?
I've loved it. I've enjoyed this year. Just coaching wise, it's just different.
Man, to me, I thought, man, he's going to be, but you don't look as stressed.
No. I'm not. I was more stressed as a quarterback.
I mean, I've noticed that on the sideline. You kind of let you do a great job.
It would be totally different if I didn't have the coaching staff that we have. We have a top-notch coaching staff, and I don't know when the last time was where we actually had all the spots filled. You know, I know some years we've only had like 4 coaches. You know, and like I had to coach.
And that's not even your JV coach.
No, yeah, that's everybody.
That's right.
You know, I was the offensive coordinator, and I had to coach defense.
That's right.
You know, and you didn't
then
even
on
have
Thursday,
an
you had a
assistant.
B team. You had to call plays for the B team.
So, but this year, you know, with Coach Morgan and Coach Peterson, you know, they run the offense and the defense, and you've got Coach Chase and Coach Richardson and Coach Davis.
Man, Coach Davis is doing
He's
outstanding.
great.
I tell you, our defense is great. Coach Winston does a great job with our defensive line because we got some good talent there. But the linebacker play this year, Coach, has been just, and a lot of the kids love him. I mean, he's doing a great job.
He does a great job. He does. He was an excellent hire, and along with Coach Richardson, he's doing a great job with that offensive line, and you can see that offensive line just getting better every week, every day.
That's
and
right.
Does a great job. So it could be totally different if we didn't have all the great coaches. And we have, like, with Langston and Coach Reed.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Coach
that's
Pope,
right. That's right. I mean,
and Coach Tadpole.
and man, all them make it a lot easier for everything.
And man, we've got Studebaker. You know, Coach Studebaker is helping us with technology.
That's right.
And he does that for free. He just volunteers. He comes out and he films our practices. You know, with our drone, he films them every day. He comes out there every day, and he's there on Friday night. And he does. He don't have any money in it.
Man, it's changed a lot from me sitting in a little theater with your daddy with that old projector. With the, you know, especially when that thing was broke, and you'd have to go up there and he'd cut it off and have to roll it back.
I've still got that. I've got that projector.
Old black and white projector.
Yeah. I've got it at the house, man. It's cool.
It has changed a lot. We're going to run into our last break and catch another word from our sponsors, and I'll be back here with Coach Tyson to finish up.
Winky Southern Styles in Homerville is the go-to place for custom embroidery and vinyl transfer designs. Whether it's t-shirts, caps, or special Christmas items, Winky's will make it happen. Go by our location at 44 East Elna Street in Homerville and see Lenora for embroidery and vinyl transfer. Winky Southern Styles supports the Panthers in their quest for another state championship. Go Panthers! Lutz, Brown, Peagler, and Manley Insurance Agency is locally owned and has been a part of the Homerville, Clinch County community for many years. We make it a priority to know our clients on a personal basis and take pride in customizing insurance coverage for the particular needs of each customer. We offer all lines of insurance, including auto, home, business, life insurance, annuities, and bonds. Lutz, Brown, Peagler, and Manley Insurance Agency, East Dame Avenue, Homerville. Go Panthers! At Burt CPAs, helping small businesses with their accounting needs is our business. We have offices in Homerville, Waycross, Alma, and Baxley. Burt's professionals are ready to serve you no matter your location. We are your team for accounting, bookkeeping, tax, and financial advice. In Homerville, call firm partner Adam Toll, 912-490-7142. Attention all hunters. Homerville Feed and Seed has all the shelled corn you need to bag that buck this year. Drop by and load up with corn, shotgun shells, food plot products, and everything else you need to make this year's hunting season the best ever. Whether you're a blueberry farmer or a backyard gardener, we have a wide variety of fertilizers and seed for you. There's no need to drive out of town when all the ag products you need are right here at Homerville Feed and Seed, Homerville, Georgia.
Dairy Queen is a proud part of our local communities and is cheering our sports teams on to championship seasons. Drop by before and after the game to say hello to Mr. Ash and his entire crew and enjoy the full Dairy Queen menu, including our famous grilled burgers, artisan-style sandwiches, and chicken strips. Cool off with our renowned smoothies, slushies, malts, and iced coffees. Try our fabulous desserts and take an ice cream cake home for that special occasion, or just to treat the family. Dine in or take out at Dairy Queen locations in Homerville, Blackshear, Folkestone, and Fernandina Beach. See you at the DQ.
You're watching Creekbox TV.
Good evening. Welcome back to Creek Box TV. I'm Alan Hanley. We're live here with Coach Tison here on Sports Talk, and we're finishing up. We got just a little bit of time. We spoke about every team. We got Telfair, the last game of the season. Coach Tison, give us a little update on them. Kickoff is 7:30 Friday in McRae.
In McRae, that's right. Just right up 441, I believe. It's not a bad ride. Be good to have a good crowd there. You know, the last game of the year. Coming off the Charlton game, we were really up for that. You know, we really need to play well because Telfair is good enough to beat us. You know, their record is
they play tough at home.
4-5. They are big. Their offensive line is huge. Their defensive line is huge. They have big running backs, big receivers, and man, they're coached up. It's going to be a tough game. It's not just going to be a game. You know, some people. They just don't think about Telfair being, you know, a good game.
Well, man, when you play a team like that, that's, you know, they could make the playoffs, or, you know, I guess, but man, that's their state championship. Clinch County
really
comes
should
in
be
ranked #1.
You look at their schedule; they really should be 7-2.
That's right.
They've lost games just by small margins at the end of the game. They could easily be 6-3, and very well could be 7-2. So.
Now, what are they going to try to do, Coach? They like to run the ball. They run the spread.
They've got their starting quarterback. You know, he can throw it pretty well. They run a spread, but then the backup quarterback, they'll bring him in. He also plays running back. He's an excellent runner. He's probably one of the better running backs we've seen all year. You know, you take away some of Irwin's guys,
That's right.
and the kid from Wilcox, and he's probably just as good. He's right there. He's big and fast. They'll put him at quarterback some, and he can throw it a little bit, but he can really run. And, man, I'm telling you, they are a good football team. So
and defensively, are they just as sound on
defense, they're big and strong and sound. They've always been sound. Since Coach Burleson got there years ago, they've been a different football team. You know, when you play them, you know you have to prepare, because if there's a weakness, if there's a kink in the chain somewhere, then they'll find it. You know, because they're smart and they're disciplined, big, fast. So, I mean, we've got to prepare. We just got through meeting up there. We met for probably 5 hours on them, you know, just trying to plan it up. And now it'll just be to get the kids motivated and get them ready to go.
You're coming off that big Swamp War battle, big win. The Panthers, you know, you're in the playoffs and you don't want them to look ahead. It's hard not to look at the bracket. I mean, I look at the college bracket, you know, who we going to play and all. And, man, imagine with 14, 15, 16-year-olds. I know that's aggravating.
Yeah, I don't look at the power rankings. I don't look at projections, because you don't really know.
No, that's right.
There's
end of the day, you got to beat them all to win.
Well, and the thing is, all these projections, if you don't win, that's going to change. There's no reason to look at that until the game's over.
That's right.
So, you know, we're going to try to treat this like a business trip. We need to go over there. This is a game where this is leading into the playoffs. We've got to be sharpening the axe.
That's right.
You know, we've got to get that. It's time for that axe to be sharp.
Oh, man.
And so hopefully we'll have a good week of practice and do it.
You've done a great job this season, Coach. We want to congratulate you here from Creek Box, man. And after Friday night, we'll bring you back once we know the bracket's set, and then we can talk a little bit about the bracket, just who we play, not down the road.
No, that's right. That's right.
But, man, before we get out of here, I'd love to remind everybody to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Later in the year, we're going to give away some random prize. We hadn't figured out what it is. Daniel's working on that. And before I get out of here, I've got to give a shout-out to all my sponsors. We have Winky's, the Dairy Queen and Popeyes, Mr. Ash, Lutz Brown Peagler Manley, Lee Engineering, Homerville Feed and Seed. We got Mike's Golf Cart, Walker Jones Nissan, Camping World of Valdosta, Homerville Jewelers, Burt CPA, Jerry J's, and Hoggin Bones, and Heelys for you need a pizza. Tell everybody during the fourth quarter with 5 minutes to go, call Heelys and he'll have your pizza ready. But we appreciate you coming and visit with us. And Coach Tison will pick you up here in a week, and we'll find out who the Panthers played. And thank y'all for tuning in tonight.
You're watching Creek Box TV.